Hey, what's going on everybody? Mitch here, and welcome back to Steel Division Normandy 44. Now this isn't a live game I'm playing, this is a replay of a game. And I want to do that because this game actually looks really nice, but you can't really tell it when you're playing because you play it like from out here, you know, you zoomed out, looking at the map, trying to figure out where you're moving units. So I want to look at a game that I've already played, I already know what happens, but you guys don't, so it's going to be suspenseful for you. But I wanted to take a moment to enjoy the beauty of the game. This blue side is obviously the Allied side, because the Allies are always blue, for whatever reason. And as you can see here, some machine guns, some recon, a bunch of infantry units, a lot of mortars, 3 mortars here, anti-tank. Okay, it looks like the game's actually starting. These are my units up here, these guys. And then I have my 2 friendly forces over here. And then there's the 2 opposing forces. I pretty much stay over here the entire time. It's basically me and this guy duking it out. A little like Daimler or whatever it's called. Let's see, we can click on it. Humber, Mark III. As you can see, I'm setting up over here. Let's hide this HUD. I'm knocking shit down. Excuse my language. Where's my enemy at? They're trudging through a field over here. Any contact yet? Not yet. He's got a recon unit pushing pretty far up. This guy is the 2nd Infantry. So they're the unit if you play this game with the Indian's head. Knocking down trees. Still no engagement yet, but I believe I do have eyes on with my recon. Oh, here we go. Here's some first fighting. Whoop, let's not do that. So these are support units. Depending on what he's fighting. Ooh, I never realized they actually mow down the grass. See, that's why I wanted to do this. What is he engaging? Was it his anti-tank? I believe it was. I wish they would add a feature to rotate the camera. So his recon's pushing up. My units are pushing in. He's got artillery setting up, our mortars. What size? These are 81mm mortars, so they got some range on them. 107mm, definitely some range. And this is something I didn't realize when I started this game, is how much he was going to rely on artillery. This is going to be a theme of this game, is this stupid artillery. Got a lot of units just sitting in the hedgerows over here, trying to hold this main road. Some U.S. soldiers pushing through. These guys recon pushing up. He was smart. He made his recon non-engage unless fired upon. So he's going to have eyes on basically all of our units, which is perfect for him because he is a artillery-based player right now. I got focused over here because, like, I know what happens here. Let's see, my recon units, on the other hand, they just fired all willy-nilly, gave away their spot because I did not tell them to hold their fire. So that's going to start hurting me because of guys like these They're pretty slow reaction with their covering their ears. They don't do it right. As you see, there's just artillery all over the place. Mortars, not artillery. But my guys are just getting hammered every which way. I didn't realize they had recon here. And I also didn't realize he had an anti-tank gun. So my support unit is getting hammered. One goes down. I believe I have a second. Yeah, he pushes back. I have a really good teammate who used his air to support me a lot. Let's see what's going on this side of the world. A lot of paratroopers over here, Fallschirmjägers. So I was the 12th SS Panzer. We had two 12 SS Panzers, and then 91st Luftwaffe. Which I believe is this guy, the guy with the Fallschirmjägers. A lot of units running away from artillery. What is this guy? This is another infantry unit coming in to support. See that there? Nice little 109. Making a rocket run there. He's got a much bigger howitzer over here. Keep on double tapping that. Okay then. As soon as we look at you, you run away. So this early on is like we're trying to establish the boundaries here. Me and him skirmish for a while. Man, if I could only rotate the camera. See, both sides are launching mortars and artillery to counter. It's got like a mortar half track here. Another one right here. Pretty cool stuff. And me and this guy just keeps skirmishing. I finally called up my own mortar, half track. Oh, that was a good hit. These guys are not happy about their life decisions at this moment. So they had that area locked down pretty good. Not too much crazy going on. More gun runs. Catching things on fire over here. This replay would be so much better if they had a rotate camera button. Because the game is absolutely beautiful when you can actually just watch it. So, we were here, they artilleried here, or mortared here, and now they've moved up infantry to this line of trees as well. Sounds like all the firings happen over here. Bringing up some more infantry to support them. Looks like that vehicle's had a lot better days. Constant bombarding by mortars. Same thing over here. I'm actually preparing an offensive over here. I came in just time. Starting an infantry offensive. I didn't realize this guy was here. So he knew. He could see it. And they definitely know because the infantry just lit him up. And he's just stockpiling over here as well. I could have, in hindsight, just pushed this way and been fine and probably cut them off, but you don't know. I just had an anti-tank gun over there holding out, making sure nothing pushed through this little open area. But myself, I could have pushed that open area. Here goes the offensive. And if I remember right, it ends because they were spotted and the enemy had something to deal with it. Yeah, the enemy has a unit coming up as well. You guys are taking hits. Lots of hits there. We got mortars firing. We're moving up, what? 3 squads? All in tight proximity of each other. This is in slow motion, by the way. So you can only imagine how it ends. So one mortar over here, and these guys are already pinned down. Taking cover. They don't want to die. Don't blame them. But they're about to be in contact with this group of infantry as well. So now they're pretty much all taking cover. got our second wave of infantry coming in to back them up. They have their anti-tank guns firing at my infantry as well. Not very effective. Whoop. Now the craziness ensues. I'm starting to fire my mortars onto him. That'll pin them down a little bit. We still have infantry pushing like mad. Got my mortar truck coming up to help support. I think he gets a little too close though. Yeah. Starting to take fire, so he's got to back up. Thunderbolt out there. I like using the anti-air artillery as anti-infantry as well. It's a lot of bullets to be shooting towards an infantry unit, so they usually put their head down. There's a little Jeep coming in. Jeep's gonna start firing. These guys are stuck out in the open. So there's that battle over there. This battle for the city is still going on, or this little village. That's basically been leveled now. I mean, there was a building here, as you can see. It's no longer there. They've amassed a lot of troops just in that little area, as well as over there. Hit the wrong button again. Whoop. And P-47s doing their runs. We got a Wisp over here firing its artillery. Trying to knock out that guy, but I don't think we do. So at this point, my goal is to try to push and neutralize this artillery. This artillery is killing us. It's locking everything down. We know it needs to go. So we're starting to mass up tanks as well. So far it's basically still infantry engagements and artillery. See over here, I mean, they're all on the same bush line. They have a general idea of where everybody else is. Nice little mortar truck firing on them. These guys stay stagnant for a while. Basically, it's like World War I. They're just reinforcing their line here. .109 making a rocket run there. We're still just trying to push. It's a small little Panzer II. Oh. Panzer II got hit. Let's see here. There's a gun right here. He does still have vision on the other Panzer, but he's pinned down currently. There's the 109s. 109s continue to make their runs. They continue to fire at them. Still trying to make a push. Still have some infantry left from that first push, but not many. Like 3 total soldiers. About to find out they moved up a machine gun over there. So we're gonna have to dispatch of that. And there goes those soldiers. Just 1 rocket barrage and they were taken care of. P-47 ended up causing my captured Firefly to surrender there. So that was a really good use of a strike by them. Hinkle 129 there, doing a little bombing run. We're still amassing a push on this right side, this far right side. And this line here is still just static. A lot of fires burning up. That's our Churchill 7. The 6 and a 7 here. And they're taking fire from what? Looks like an anti-tank gun. Doesn't have eyes on them anymore because of this tree line. They have a couple of tanks over here just sitting out. Looks like the Allies have finally captured what remains of the village over here. A lot of Allied air units getting an engagement there. So everybody's having to pull back. So my mass of units that I just left there got spotted. And I got punished for it. And then he's also starting to bring up tanks. Now, 2nd ID is an infantry division, so they're not very strong when it comes to the tanks. My allied very helpfully took out that rocket artillery. Try and deal with these infantry here. Got a Panther moving up. We also got this half-track lane into them. Now we're making another push. We made it further this time. We moved our half truck up here. We kind of knew it was going to die, but we wanted to make a push to see if we can't get rid of that artillery. They still have this gun over here. He does have eyes over here. Panther is not spotted. We do have all these guys. Panther's gonna try to make a push over here. I don't think at this time I realized there was a gun right here. Got eyes on the machine gun nest, so they're making sure to destroy them. And they're just using their air to push us back. There's a burnt up Panther. Still rolling. We will have a Jag Panzer coming in. So it looks like this gun may have eyes on this Panzer 4 here. That's engaging the Shermans. So he still had a line of sight on my tanks there. Whoop. Now we have a tank battle going on between my tanks and the Allied tanks here. Falling back. The Jag Panzer actually got destroyed. The Panther is still up and rolling, engaging infantry. And we're still holding a little ground here. Pretty much the same across the line. Just holding on. Not too much has changed. Where's that village at? What's left of it? It's hard to tell now. That's not it. It's not over here. It's like somewhere in this area. I don't know where the village is anymore. Right here? Okay, here it is. So they still have pushed up. We've pushed up on our side. Still trying to get over there though. So Panther's getting hit by 2 different units now. Having to back up. It did just have an ammo explosion. So the Panther finally does go down. So it's a costly battle. I think you'll see that in the end. Shermans also did go down as well though. My Panzer and the Shermans right there. The other Sherman is just chilling. The driver was knocked out. And eventually the crew was killed. Wow. Everybody's engaging. Relatively ineffective bomb run. Rocket Strike did alright though. Not great, but not terrible. So we're basically recouping our lines. He's recouping. He's got a decent amount of stuff stacking up. One thing I did bring up though was this Flak 88. Which he's soon gonna find out about. Because it's going to get eyes on his tank, which it may have just done. Yep. That M10 couldn't stand up to Flak 88. It is Battlefield, man. They wanted that tank dead bad. And I didn't realize this recon unit was here, but he's just sitting there the whole time chilling. And I figured he had to be there because they could see me behind so many rows of trees. But I didn't know where he was because the recon units stay pretty disguised until you're like right on top of them basically. So I didn't know about that. Let's see what we got going on here. Anti-tank guns just chilling in the trees, destroying stuff, man. Anti-tank guns are so valuable. That's a pretty lucky shot that the tank got a shot on the gun before it got a shot on it. I didn't know that I could push just through here. You know, there's no roads, so no one's really over here. Same reason I didn't go over there. So in the future, I'll know if we're locked up somewhere and there's no roads, try to push where there's no roads at. Chances are the enemy aren't there either. What you got going on, P-47? Another rocket run. I got a pretty torn up M10 here. Not anymore. There was another one there, but tanks are handling pretty good. And here they go. They're just gonna harass them. Got a bunch of anti-air back there, but they're gonna have to come up to the front to start supporting. He's gonna push back. A nice air battle going on over here. Ah, there's some P-38 Lightnings. It's like one of the allies has some infantry reinforcements coming up. Overall, the battlefield didn't change too much. This side's probably the biggest. The side I'm on is probably the side with the biggest push because really we have the least amount of units stacked up on the line. I struggled a lot with Allied Air because they were doing a really good job supporting them. Like that. So we're finally making our push in to try to get to these mortars that he keeps pushing back. You know, he wants to keep these mortars alive because they've done a lot of damage to us. So we're just trying to push as far as we can. I was pretty sure we took out most of their anti-tank, and we did. So they're bringing up another one. But you know, as you can see, they're just dropping as many people back as they can as we're trying to push up here. And this is just still a stagnant little stalemate. Infantry just pinned down. Tanks can't go anywhere. If one of them just took all their rear units and pushed me, I'd have been rolled. Because I didn't have units stacked up. I was trying to make a push the whole time. Okay, so he's got another anti-tank there that I now know about. But it's going to do some damage here. Now they're going to run away. I'll have a dog bark in the background. So they did get another anti-tank pushed up. Here comes that allied air. If it wasn't for them, if everything else stayed the same and the allied air went away, we would have rolled them. But their air just kept them in it. Very much so. So this anti-tank gun's dueling it out with the tank. Luckily, the gun is about the same as the armor level, so he can withstand a lot more than what normally these tanks can. And this is a Panther G, so it's a late level tank, pretty heavy tank, and they basically destroyed this gun. But it was basically, they had to slog it out. I do have my allies supporting me, pushing back their anti-tank gun with artillery. I have my anti-air coming up. Finally got vision on something back here. I don't think I see the mortars yet. Looks like they're still hidden. But I have my anti-air coming up as infantry support, or basically anti-infantry support. Moving up my artillery. Probably gonna lose this anti-air though to this anti-tank gun. So that half-track goes down, but I am taking fire again from the anti-tank gun, but he just neutralized it. So we're right there. We're just trying to make a push as deep as we can at this point. He's reinforcing with tanks, but they're very weak tanks compared to what I have. I have level 14 guns with 8 armor. He has level 10 guns with 12 armor. So if I can fire first, I will win. This was a clutch play. There goes my Panther G. That Panther G was gonna push deep. Basically wipe out everything they had over here. They're weak, and they felt weak when I was pushing on them. But their artillery all game long hurt us. And really, this just stayed a skirmish. It seemed like it during the game, but I didn't realize how much. This is like a World War I battle here, just shelling each side. That's what they're doing. They're just shelling across, maybe making a small advance, but nothing much. We got another Panther G coming up. And we're just pushing hard. We're just trying to make it as deep in here as we can. It's got 3 rocket artilleries. Of course, now I believe they had to be resupplied. So now they're engaged, but I believe they bailed out, so it's not much of an engagement. Jeep went down pretty fast there. We're just pushing. We're just trying to push as much as possible now. We basically figured this is where the battle's gonna be won or lost. By us just pushing. Push back my tanks a little bit there. And there you go. That was the battle. It was actually, it says major defeat here, but it was a victory for our side. Major defeat for the Allies. Beard me. That was part of the major victory. So even though it was a stalemate, I think our little push at the end helped the most. But it was nice to watch that replay and see that there was such an open area through the fields, not on the roads, that we could have pushed and probably cut them off earlier. Let's see here. Team, as far as you can see, we had about the same amount of kills as everybody. Second most kills on our teams. But we lost the most by far, and the guy we're fighting had the most kills by far. So yeah, he had a good defense, but our unit difference, he was an infantry unit and I was a tank unit. I was pushing more than what he could push. He could counter and destroy us and stop us, but he couldn't take back anything. And I think that was partly because of the anti-air that I was using as infantry suppression. They were keeping his infantry at bay. I think when we started losing stuff the most, it was basically to anti-tank guns and air units. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I enjoy playing this game. It's a lot of fun. I like doing the analysis afterwards because, like I said, you get to see how pretty this game is. And also you can see where your mistakes were. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, have a great one. Later.